Hey everyone.
Hey.
Hey everyone. I'm just gonna post the link in the group as well.
We arrange the time with them later.
Yeah. Well, right away, better.
Awesome.
Hello.
Whilst you're doing that, can I share my tool, Eric?
Yeah.
Whilst you're preparing.
Just dealing with cockroaches here.
Oh no.
Not in my place, in a rental.
Oh,
Not in my place.
my
Thank God.
sister had an epidemic of cockroaches, and they're so hard to get rid of.
And they're not that common here.
No, exactly. It's
Yeah.
this time of year.
I spent a fortune trying to get rid of them over at this place.
Yeah.
But clearly they're not gone yet.
See, you were really curious about this, and so was Eric. So I'll just show you. So I managed to log in now, and I just said, book me a road trip from Krakow to London, driving only 6 hours a day, staying in nice boutique hotels for less than $100 a night, and also in nice restaurants. And then it gives me, look here, my itinerary of what it suggests.
Oh, that's so cool.
So then it'll be able to, afterwards, I'll be able to export this to my calendar and to my Google Maps, and even book them as well. So, if I want to go like fly Toronto to Edmonton tomorrow, tell me the flights.
Yeah, can you check from Lithuania on 13th to Edmonton? I'm curious what it's gonna find. Yeah.
It's not working 100% yet, and the flights is a bit of a hard one, but here you go. So it tells you the flights to
Oh, wow. Oh, that's so cool.
and then it will be able to tell you later, but I can't do it just yet. But
Oh.
in the next week, it'll be able to tell you the prices and the levels, and then you'll be able to go and book it afterwards.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Lily's going to Europe for a couple of weeks, and this kind of thing would have been good for her.
Well,
Yeah.
exactly. That's
I
the
want to
whole
go to Paris, and I don't want to, she's a student, doesn't want to pay very much. But she wants
What
to
does
stay.
it? Oh, sorry.
I was going to say she just wants to stay in a safe place, but not too expensive. So
Yeah.
she wants to go to Paris, London, Ibiza, and Spain. Those are her kind of. But I bet something like this would just give her a total itinerary I think she's going for, I don't know, 15 days.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's you'll be able to do all this in here, and then you'll have your profile with your preferences of what you like, what you don't like. I think it's pretty cool.
And Ross, where is it pulling the data from?
At the moment, it's pulling it from the web and AI. So at the moment, we're pulling from Gemini and from ChatGPT. And then I've just got a plugin, which is coming hopefully tomorrow. We should get the details. We've got a call about it, which plugs into live booking systems for hotels and flights. And we'll be able to take payments through their payment gateway because they're registered. So I don't need to bother with all that crap. And then I'm pulling in OpenTable next week and Google Maps and stuff. So it's going to be continuously growing.
Mm. That's it. Like you can plan a trip in a matter of like minutes,
Yeah,
seconds, actually.
yeah. You can even
That's-
say, tell me the best day trip to museums in Paris
Right.
and my day, including lunch.
Huh.
And
So
then
good.
let's see if it works. It's a bit slow and it doesn't work that perfectly yet, but for 3 weeks work, it's not that bad.
Oh my God. Yeah. Look at what it comes up with. Start your day somewhere and then you go for lunch. Oh,
Yeah, so
So
it's saying
it's the assistant on steroids, pretty much.
yeah. Assistant on steroids. Okay.
yeah. So it's cool.
Oh, that's very cool.
I just wanted to share that with you guys because I'm very excited about it.
Mm. Yeah. That looks great, Ross. I think that will be freaking amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, yeah, and I had friends that are going to Japan, and it's like, oh my God, they're spending hours and hours and hours and hours, right? Trying to, oh, what hotel, and they're asking us what hotel did we stay in? And then I'm like, oh, I can't even remember. And that is ideal for something like that where you've never been. And you just need like, okay, you've got 2 weeks. And Japan is, say you want to go to Kyoto and a couple other spots, and that's it in your 2 weeks. It can totally plan out like definitely where you stay. You give it a budget. I saw you can give it a budget. Say I want to stay for $200 a night or something. Yeah. That's going to be amazing because there's nothing like that right now, is there? No. Woo. Wow. Good stuff.
Thank you.
I think
Yeah.
there's quite a few booking systems that are using AI, right?
Mm.
Isn't like kayak not in direct communication, I guess. Not as a personal assistant, huh?
Yeah, personal assistant. It's a little more,
Yeah,
personalized.
cool. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to disrupt the rest of the meeting. Off you go.
No, bro, I love it. I think it's super important. It's part of it. I think that's a great indication of where we're headed as a team. So I'm really grateful that you're sharing it, man. It's something that I think a lot of the community can benefit from and really shine bright.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that this is something a part of especially if we want to continue to grow, we gotta, keep each other shining.
Mm. Yeah.
This is the thing is like it's so important to be able to share each other's experience and perspectives and not provide them or think that, we're projecting things. Because I think the most important thing is that if it's coming from a true congruent nature and we really do trust in each other's wisdom and sharing in an open capacity, then it's the most important. And being able to share what's on our heart is what creates safe spaces.
Mm. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I think that this is one of the things that I find the most meaningful always in my life. And I'm very grateful that I love listening. Because actually yesterday was my like what I call Grandpa John's birthday. He's always listening. He's always paying attention. 88 years old. He's been the most quiet man in the room, but when he speaks, it's like wisdom, pure wisdom. How are you feeling, Brenda?
I'm amazing. I had a session, they had a session with Mike Zeller yesterday, like just a group one. And yeah, it was great. Tracy and I for a couple hours. I just did some meditating and, going in a little deeper. It was awesome. He's actually I asked him if he would pop into the business mastery when he's in Edmonton. Ross, did you ever connect with him?
Yes, I did. I think
You did.
I sent him a message yesterday. Oh no, it failed. Hang on. That's why. Yeah, because he sent me
I
the
told
link.
Ross about it just because I thought, yeah, it'll kickstart you to, shedding some of that bullshit stories.
I love the bullshit story.
I got a lot of them too.
Yeah.
In the past, Brenda, in the past.
In the past, yeah, I said that I got a lot of them, not anymore. No, no, no. Like it was so funny because when we were talking about releasing stuff, I'm like, what do I have to release? I released so much already. I felt like I'm in a good place. I mean, judgment came up. I think sometimes I have a tendency to judge something like I'm not stopping to think before I reply, especially to Tracy, my biggest mirror. And yeah, so a few things came up, and it was just basically it was about just setting intentions or setting commitments for 2025.
Do you want to share even more?
Okay. Yeah, so well, one of the things came up was the mastermind. That was something that, and again, this when your heart's open, it's like whatever comes up. I didn't have any preconceived notions about how I want 2025 going into that meditation. Like I didn't have preconceived notions. I know some of the things I want to do for sure, but so I did visualize that mastermind, and it must hold something for me, a value for me to really want to see something like that take off, because I think I like the idea you're helping people move from owner to operator to owner. Let's get my words straight. And so that came up in meditation. Brazil came up, which is kind of interesting because I'm like, I'm getting my knee done. So whatever, I'm just leaving it open, leaving it open, whatever the universe brings. How to put like an adventure with a family. I didn't actually picture what it was going to be, but I could see us all laughing and having fun and just being in joy. And for Tracy, she's like, I realized when she's doing the meditation, she's still holding on to some grievances. Like she's really trying to release those. And I think that's going to be a big part of her 2025 is what she said. And also, connecting with the family, connecting with me. All of hers was about that. Mine, of course, I had a lot of like, woo, let's conquer the world. Like, but we are who we are, right? We have to be honest with what makes our hearts sing. And I love just the idea of, and I think the other thing also was just like a development of a different sort with a different meaning attached to it. Again, I wasn't focusing on the how. I was kind of focusing on the emotion of of these things in 2025? How would I feel? Okay, what am I doing? Yeah, I was picturing myself. Yeah, we're excited. We're talking to people. We're looking at property. We're talking to architects. We're talking to designers. Yeah. So I think that's and continuing. Yeah, the overriding emotion. Is it emotion? Yeah, love and kindness is just. And when I listened to you and Siri, she just said that same thing. She said, when you're dealing with maybe a difficult situation, you just throw love and kindness at it. And I'm like, yes, yes. I resonated with that, with her, like your interview with her. Yeah, I know I've heard a lot of this stuff from her, but it kind of resonated more this time. Because she's putting out that really loving energy, even though she said survive. She said that a few times. I didn't find that a negative necessarily. I mean, maybe in the future she will change the wording, but I didn't feel like maybe Sagitas felt that there was a lot of language because everybody's on a different, like maybe that for them, that's not it's more important the energy. Like when I look at her, it's the energy she's putting out. Right? She's putting out that really. I felt her gratitude. I don't know, and maybe that's just my hallucination, but I definitely resonated with that video you did. And so just going back to the 2025, leading with loving kindness is just overrides everything else. It's just all about that. And so wherever I can do that and being present, she did focus a lot on that too. And I'm like, yeah. In the past, I wasn't present half the time. So being present, loving kindness, and then just a lot of fun things. And Kanda, she's killing it. Right? She's making my life a lot easier. And that's part of 2025 vision.
This is one of the things, and I love that you bring up the presence because this is kind of one of the things that I've always discovered why it's so beneficial to have these meetings or any meeting and actually being here.
Mhm.
When we're observing each other's body language, we're observing the way it's being, we're not stuck in the head, we're not just listening to the language, we're paying attention to the beingness of the person. And so that's why I always say it's so important to actually have our camera on and be here now, because otherwise we're not actually here. We may think we're here, and there's so much more communication happening. And I love that one of the distinctions that you had was really observing her energy in the way that she was showing up, because I found that in her body and her expression, it was really relevant, very relevant.
Totally. And she shows up like that a lot when she gets on stage. She has, a similar energy to you. She's got a lot of energy and enthusiasm. You can't help but be drawn into her story, drawn into her.
And I think that's what I love, because then from my perspective, we can really discover and discern where the reflection is and where the projections are. And when we're just listening to the language of the words and we're not actually present in the situation, we can disassociate ourselves and have the hallucination that there's a projection versus actually paying attention to the reflection when we're truly present. This is what I love presence. Presence is such a magical opportunity of paying attention to the wisdom that's around us all, right?
Yeah.
Because we're all teaching each other this.
Yeah, totally. I agree. So
Such an
I resonated with her because of those things, that presence, gratitude, loving kindness. I'm like, yes. Like I'm all in on that.
Thank you for this share, Brenda. Really, really, really profound and wise. At least for me, I learned just a lot about the harmony and also finding the balance, because seeing that from different maps of the world is what allows us to discover ourselves even more. And it's in those healthy mirrors where we get to continue to navigate with love and kindness, with that level of precision and with that level of devotion. So I really honor you for taking the time to also provide with some genuine feedback. I personally really love listening and hearing and getting to know more of this perspective from you. Always, always, you always have such genuine feedback. So thank you.
Anytime.
Hi, Kate.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, how is everyone?
Awesome.
I missed you.
Beautiful.
I missed you. I don't know if I've been off for 2 days, but it feels like a really long time.
I know what you mean, Kate.
Yeah. And you know what? I shouldn't be here at all. It's my mum's birthday, so I am gonna hop off in about 10 minutes, but I just wanted to see your beautiful faces and hear some inspiring words for a minute.
Awesome.
But
Amazing.
I wanted to tell you guys, you know, the magic we created on my, like, one of my first sessions. So I got my new company values about taking meaningful action with grace, integrity, and curiosity. I communicated that to my leadership team today, and I was a little bit nervous about it. I'll be really honest. I was a bit nervous about it because I really wanted them to feel it and love it. And anyway, they did. I'd taken your feedback on Brenda, which at first, you know, I was like, oh, this is really harsh, when you basically said something along the lines of, nah, I'm not really feeling it, Kate. I was like, oh, no.
I wasn't that hard.
Oh, no, but when I was maybe in my head a little bit and didn't fully understand the characters of the group or the energy of the group. So at the time, I didn't know how to take it, but I took it heart to heart, which meant that I could take it as you meant it, which was lovely.
Yeah.
And what that meant, I think, is that today I was really able to communicate these new values from the heart. Everybody fell in love with it. Everybody was able to communicate it like straight away. And they were like, yes, we can use this for everything. We can use this for HR discussions. Like, oh, have we come into this HR meeting with like, and are we taking meaningful action? Have we put the word meaningful in front of it? And have we been curious enough in the meeting? Done it with grace? Like, has there been respect and grace and compassion involved? And I was like, wow. And then it reminded me of what you said, Eric, where you were, I think it was you, Eric, where you'd suggested, well, why don't you co-create this magic further? So rather than me just communicate, this is how it is now, guys, like, yes, communicate it with passion, authenticity, and everything, but also like get some co-creation. And so my intention for the call with the team was not to talk about that at all. We were talking about other like strategic things. But this came up and they were like, this is perfect. This is what we needed. This is like going to be our North Star from now on, how we can gauge whether we're on track, whether. I was like, so I wanted to thank all of you for getting me to that point.
Wow, that's so cool.
All
Love
right. 45-minute call or whatever it is. A 40-year-old business, and in a 45-minute call, we created my new norm.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful.
So this is why I always suggest doing things with a team of people, and because everyone has a different perspective, and also inviting with safety and support people to speak up, including yourself. And so there's so much magic in being able to share and also and ignite each other's wisdom, because things just come, and when people feel inspired to create, in the past the conversation was, hey, don't say this or don't do that, or this is not your time, or things like this. This is not the world we live in anymore.
No, but I think my nervousness around the team was, and this is my stuff, right? Was more, are they gonna get it? Are they gonna think it's too woo? Because they're not in this world. Are they gonna understand? Am I gonna be able to communicate the importance of this versus what we actually came to the meeting about, which was, strategy and what are we doing for the next 12 months on finance and marketing and and they, of course, so that was my limiting belief, because they got it because I spoke it from the heart. So it was a really, like, the whole thing from when I first communicated my values to you guys as a group to now this point, which is a very short amount of time, right? We're talking about like less than a week. It's like transformed, like so many
Totally.
head.
It's like night and day, right? Change can happen so quick when we're open. It is amazing. And like massive shifts, because that's a massive shift.
Massive, like absolutely massive. I cannot even tell you, to the point where I was like, we just moved offices, and it's a little bit more corporate than our previous offices. And I said, look, we need more time for creativity, for this kind of discussion, which actually has not just taken us from here to here with our vision, it's taken us from here, like, to the moon with like what we can create now. So I said, look, maybe every Friday, or let's decide how often we actually manufacture a time for this to happen. Let's come out of the office. We'll go into where I said I did my sound bath the other day. They have a beautiful workspace there and cafe. I was like, maybe we just go out there and we do nothing strategic at all. We're not there for particularly a mission or a purpose. We're there to be creative. And I don't think that I would have thought about that had we not had this discussion about values. And that's going to transform like some of my teams, like how they feel about their work. So at the minute they're coming in, they're working 8 hours in a corporate environment and doing their job and going home. I'm exaggerating a bit. They love being part of a family business, but a little bit it's like that. This will completely transform it, because they will be able to bring their gifts and their creativity to the business. So yeah, night and day.
That's so great. And just your enthusiasm is like infectious, right? And that just transforms to them, right? Because of your, and your belief in your, it's magic.
I had my arms out and everything, I was big.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful example. I just want to second and acknowledge that the change happened in you, Kate, and you were so open and vulnerable to make that change and take that input, and took actions. And now it's like, as you remember, you were calling just a week ago, this company as something from P letter. I don't remember even, doesn't matter.
I don't
Like
remember.
family. It's beautiful, beautiful to see. Thank you for sharing and jumping on. And
Uh,
yeah,
thank you. That
yeah,
just makes my day.
salute. Yeah.
Well, good, because also like from your, I don't know precisely the purpose of all of this. I'm figuring this out as we go along, but I just want to say like that feedback that I got from all of you and everybody, by the way, like every single person on the call added a really critical piece to like the overall transformation that I had in my brain, like everybody. And even afterwards, if you remember, I don't think, I'm not sure that, oh God, what's his name? Ronald. I can't even remember if he was on the call, but then afterwards he reframed it into a sentence. And I was like, gosh, I love that as well. Like we had the acronym and then he turned it into a sentence. And so every single person brought something, a different perspective, a different bit of intuition from themselves, and also communicated that to me. And for me, that I don't have that, maybe for all of us, like maybe because no, let me talk for myself. I know you don't like that signatus, like talking for other people. So for me, in my leadership role, I'm often leading the conversation, particularly when if we're talking about anything to do with heart stuff or emotion or personal growth. And so to have a team or family around me to give me like pure, honest, intuitive, gritty feedback, like I don't have that in any other space. So I don't know if that's what the purpose of this group is, but that's what you gave me.
Yeah, Kate, can I just say, like, it's amazing to see how happy, vibrant, full of energy you are, and the shift that you've had from the last week when I saw you in the coffee shop and you were ready to just give it away almost.
Yeah, I feel completely different, completely different. And thank you, Ross, as well, because you're like my starting point into like all these conversations as well, and you helped me to understand a little bit more about what the purpose of the family is. So yeah.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. And actually, now you have your set of values and principles, you can live and breathe them. And you're absolutely right. It influences every single decision. And you can just use it as your decision tree.
Mhm.
Does it fit this? Yes, great, done. Let's go. Does it fit in here? No, not quite. Don't force it. Leave it until it's right. Move on. It's really
Exactly.
amazing.
And that's what I was saying to my team today. But this has helped me find the language that Eric, you love so much, and I'm falling in love with language even more. It's helped me find the language to articulate to the team what I've been trying to say about, our customers come first. They have to be in the heart of everything that we do. But, when we're taking action, even so, this is just a prime example. We're like, we need to send 3 or 4 emails a week. And I'm like, okay, that's the action part. But what about the meaningful part of it? Like, is this meaningful action? Because sending 3 or 4 emails a week for the sake of sending 3 or 4 emails a week, that's one thing. Is this meaningful? Like, does this mean anything to our customer? Are we helping them? Like, are we living up to our values of integrity? For example, are we being curious? Are we being curious about whether that email that we just sent is helpful to our customers or meaningful to our customers? So for me, it just helps us raise our standards, which I know 100% that that's what this group is about.
Amazing.
So yeah, exciting.
You know what? Amazing. Like, I just realized, Kate, you just validated my CICCTI.
CICCTI. I'm
Yeah.
glad that. What's
Clear
that?
intent, clear communication, trust instinct.
Oh, yeah. Clear intent, clear community. Yeah.
You just
Yeah.
validated it for me, so thank you.
Yeah. And I needed those values to be, and Ross, like, God knows even why values came up and why I sent them to you, because I don't even know where that came from, but we must have discussed something about conscious leadership or something like that. And I was like, yeah, I've got something written down, which I thought was great. And then I got crucified, and then it's much better, right?
Yes. Amazing.
You didn't get crucified. Maybe the perspective of it is you being challenged into evolving.
Oh, she's being funny.
I'm being.
He's being English, because an English person would say, "Yeah, I got crucified, but it was great." Whereas if you're not English, you kind of feel like crucifixion is like, gosh, I've just been pegged against a stick and left to bleed for weeks.
No, I'm very, very much exaggerating in my language. I meant that in a loving way. Yes, I was challenged and I was given like really honest feedback, which is what I needed. But at the time in my head, like my ego was like, this is hard because I've worked hard on this and I thought it was really good. And, maybe I don't want this feedback. I would rather just stay the same and not raise my standard. I want to keep my standard the same thing much.
Sounds like an ego.
Sorry.
Sounds like an ego death.
Yes, it was an ego death.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for killing my ego, guys.
It's amazing to be able to support each other. I'm very grateful that you feel that you said, that this group is about raising the standards, because that's really precisely hearing that from again, I really focus on listening, and then I just reflect back what I'm hearing. So it's nice to observe and hear what you're sharing from this place, because it's really something that is not intentional, integral for this group to focus on creating outstanding standards. So thank you so much for this. It means a lot to me and to everybody here.
Yeah. Good. It means a lot to me as well, being on the receiving end of the feedback. So sorry, can you hear my dog whining? I'm not giving him enough attention.
Carolina, good to see. Oh, so cute.
Oh, what a cutie.
Yeah, he's totally deaf and blind. He's 15.
Oh,
What's
geez.
it?
Pedro.
Wow.
Pedro.
Pedro is one of the gentlemen that those of us meet. He's a dear friend of mine in this a name from the Honey Queen tribes in Brazil. So it's funny that you bring up Pedro.
We imagine his voice is like South American. Pedro. Shh. Guys, I'm going to have to love you and leave you because it's my dear mother's birthday and I'm going for some food. But thank you so much.
Seeing you. I love that share.
Oh, thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks
Bye.
for sharing. It was infectious.
Oh, thank you.
How are you, ladies? Amy, Carolina, good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while, Carolina.
Oh, so long. I'm so sorry. It's been crazy and a lot of traveling. So um now I'm in a slightly calmer waters. I'll be more in the cold more, hopefully. So yeah.
Do you want to
Thanks.
share
Thanks
where
for
you've been,
noticing.
what's been going on?
Um, well, mostly I've been traveling like to family as well as to friends. So we're moving continents. And so this is on the 1st of April. And most of our friends and our family are in Europe, on this continent, although we also have family in Brazil. But the ones that we are closest to are sort of here. And so I'm having a little bit of we're doing sort of it's not like that at all, but I kind of feel like we're doing this last city hop to everybody that after we move, we're not going to see them for a while, because now everything is like a 2.5 hour flight, and it will become a 10-hour flight, let's say. So yeah, so it's been a bit of a yeah, how do you say that? It's been a bit here, let's say, over the last weeks. And now we're back in Portugal, and preparing for the move, basically, in between running the businesses and so and and everything else, like normal life that's still happening. So it's a little bit but
Where are you
it was
moving?
an amazing time. Mexico City.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, for the time being. We move every 4 to 5 years. And so it's a chosen path.
Okay.
And however, it's half chosen. So the traveling is chosen and the moving is chosen, but the locations are not. So my husband has volunteered, like he has a job, he has advocated for himself to be in this type of job where we would be moved around every 4 to 5 years, which I love, absolutely love. Hey, Ronald, nice. Um, and then and I started my own business partially because I knew we were going to move around a lot. And yeah, so it's a chosen life, but that's every time we move, it doesn't make it easier, sort of, because you basically you leave everything behind, and it's very often we're being moved to locations that we have to like restart our life entirely. And then once it has I found over the couple, so now this is the fifth move we're gonna make, and it takes like 3.5 to 4 years, not to some friendships like go really fast, but to really get into the local culture, and to start to make more, let's say, tighter friendships. And the moment that you have them, that's when you kind of move again.
Yeah. Mm.
So it's always a little bit of oh, can't we stay? And then we can't, of course.
Mm.
So yeah, that's what has been up with me.
I love it. I think, strengthening bonds and building relationships is the fundamentals of any creating of family. And I'd love to actually exercise that right now with our beloved family here. I think that this is what we get to operate and show. And I'm curious, like, is there anything that I could do better here? And I'd love to ask Ronald, if you want to maybe start, if there's anything that you feel that I can do better here as a result of really showing up to strengthen our bond as a family. Because my perspective is it's so important to be open and have this narrative of transparency. And so I'd love if you, since you just walked in and it's a perfect timing and we're transitioning into that, if you can maybe share if there's any insight that you have that I could do better.
A beautiful question. I have a short window. I'm getting in because you asked me. And what for me is important, like if you drop a contract in my email, the blue guys goes on, and I want to fully react from that perspective. And when you use my name and give me a function, there's a role behind it. And if you do that, I trust you doing that because you're my brother. I trust you for 1,000%. That's not the issue. But you're giving me a role, and then I'm not sure what the role exactly is. So I need to define it myself, or we need to discuss about it. And we didn't have time to discuss about it. So I think we see each other next week. We sort that out, and we go with the flow. That's how some things go. So sometimes you're going faster. So if you ask me what you can do better, well, I love you anyway. It's maybe getting more clarity about the roles and the expectations. And I know I'm not a guy from expectations. I'm only from appreciation. So what can you do better? This is a minor thing in my head. It's just a time issue. My agenda is very filled. I'm very busy in my head. I'm in the blue guy, and that's what's going on with me. And I need to talk to you deeper, not about your role, about our role, and about my experience, and about what I had. I have some private things to share with you. So that's why.
Thank you for opening up. My challenge to you would be let yourself be in the heart, because you're saying a lot about in the head, and you're talking a lot about like I'm in the head, I'm in the head.
I know.
And so
I know.
I would love the ability to, with that place of beingness, just trust that. It's like we were on a couple different meetings with the people from Brazil, and then I ended up sending them a signed contract for everyone's context. And then I facilitated and made sure that they saw that there was a commitment done with the numbers and the payment from us as a group, as a team, as a family. And what I did is I CC'd Ross and Ronald, because they've been on the meetings before, so that they were aware that there was a business director who Ross is really much all about business and entrepreneurship, a great entrepreneur, and Ronald, who is also very much about the numbers, and really it's his and his power. And so I facilitated and said, these are the two directors that are really amazing at that, to really create a lot of certainty in the experience for the people that were receiving the funds and also the support. And so by providing this level of value and stepping into a place where encouraging my beloved brothers to step up to the capacity of owning their magic, not operating, but owning their magic and trusting in that, my hallucination is that this type of behavior is where we want to all go together. So what I would love is that continuous support. And if anybody has any other suggestions of what I can do better, because my opportunity has always been about numbers, and having a brilliant man like Ronald supporting and being close to me is something that I really find of tremendous value. And so by being able to lean on and stand on his shoulders, I find that support is what allows us to create even more certainty in the world. So if ladies, you have any other suggestions that you're seeing here that I may have blind spots, I'd be super curious to hear what I may be able to do even better.
Well, this kind of, what Ronald said kind of made me think, and I don't think, Eric, it's specifically you. If you're looking for that, I don't, in the community in general. So what I sometimes feel, and that could be my involvement. I read all the texts, but I'm obviously not I haven't been in the call, so that's, take that into account, please. I sometimes feel a little bit lost in this community, and like I don't understand the roles of the people that are carrying the community, like you, like well, basically like Sigitas, like Ronald. I don't necessarily understand those rules, and I sometimes also struggle with. I'm very much from in a person that wants to pay it forward, and and give more than I take from a community. And me struggling with, I'm struggling with how I can give. And that makes me pull back because I don't want to overtake. Does that make any sense?
No, it doesn't, because if you want to give, you can just give without any expectations. So there's no
I know, but I don't know how
hold on,
or what would be appreciated or not.
hold on, let me finish, please.
Yeah, sure.
So when there's a calling within you that wants to make things happen, you just do it. We just do it. I just do it. We don't have to make sure that it's okay. If it feels called in your heart, and that's what makes us all infinite. That's what makes us all ability to show up, is to just do it. Stop asking for permission. This is what autonomy means. This is what sovereignty means. To step up in the matter, I will lead, not follow. And if something feels called, we do it. Right? Like, this is autonomy. This is the capacity to serve and do unto others as we would like to have done unto ourselves. So the role years are infinite. We are all capable and we are all the same. And so owning that in our own virtue, in the way that we want to step up into a level of integrity where we leave experience, people, relationships better than when we found them, is what allows us to really step up to a new standard and to raise our standards versus hoping that, that somebody else goes first.
Well, for me, it's just a matter of synchronicity. I had not the time to level with you, so it's just when that's done, it's good, and I trust you in the time between what you do, so it's okay. I only need to communicate the space in between. That's what we can do better.
So maybe, Ronald, if I may, if you feel something immediately in the moment, you send me a message and share it, because then it will get you out of your mind and fully present into your heart.
Yeah, that's a good
Right?
one. That's a
So
good
so
one.
send me a voice note in the moment. This is what I feel. This is what's going on. We do it together with Brenda all the time. I'm always available. I'm always here. Ross, same thing. Sagita, same thing. Amy, always here. Whenever there's anything that shows up or pops up, I will respond. Most times in 5 minutes. And it will allow you to see where it's coming from versus recognizing that you need to be in the mind. And the last place that any of us want to be, I know for myself, is in the head.
Well, I think one thing that this does highlight to me is we could become a bit more organized, in so much that we can disseminate the information in a more condensed way, share more visibility on it, so that then, for example, people who are running and trying to do 101 things, and have their own other things that they're doing on, can pick up and jump in. And maybe, like, for example, Carolina was saying she wants to be more involved, but doesn't know where or how. And whilst you're saying, just take ownership and jump in, we have to also bear in mind people's different personalities and journeys and their experiences and their knowledge. Whereas if we had somewhere collectively in the cloud, the community and people who are involved in different things can access the information and see it visible, then they can put their hand up and say, hey, I want to play here. Or actually, sorry, I can't commit to this because I don't have enough time. But I wish you well, and I'm here if you need help, because, or here's my 5 cents on that, And I think that that's something that we could maybe do as a collective when we meet, where we can kind of put that so that then there's that structure without it being overloading, you know, so that people can see it in 1 minute and go, oh, I really want to be involved in that. Hey, I'm over here. Can I play as well? You know, kind of thing. It is kind of what I think maybe we can do better as a collective, which would avoid this, you know, happening in the future, or allow more people access and more people to come and play with us in the different playgrounds that we're operating in.
Maybe this is a great suggestion to work together, and Carolina and Ross, maybe there's a way that we can all jump on a call and go deeper into the narrative of what can that look like in terms of specific action steps. Because if you both are seeing that, then there's an opportunity by sitting the three of us, we can really then activate that. And then anybody's welcome to join that. And what do you, Ross, Carolina, feel about this?
I'm sorry, guys. I need to go. I love you guys. Good to see you. And
Nice to see you. See you
we're catching
soon.
up. We're catching up fast, Eric. No worries.
Big love. Love you. Thank you for taking the time. It means a lot to me. So I have to go as well because I got a lady that is probably coming to Brazil with us, jumping on the call with us. So my suggestion, Carolina and Ross, maybe we can organize a meeting, or you know, and go deeper to discover what are some of your suggestions, Carolina and Ross, so that we can actually take ownership of that, and you know, maybe integrate that in ways that maybe you have any examples or ways to make things happen. What do you both feel about that?
I think that's great. I honestly think that that everybody is in there with with the mindset that they want to make things happen. So I'm sure that everybody would be happy to contribute in that. And I look at it sort of as a little bit like a charity organization, right? If people want to contribute, and if you tell them, hey, this is where you can contribute, I think more people would jump in, because not everybody is a leader and not everybody has the time to lead a group. But a lot of people have like 10 minutes here, an hour there to contribute to somebody else leading something into something beautiful, right?
Well,
So
maybe this
I
is
think
part
that's a
of
great idea.
the community contribution perspective that maybe Carolina, you could be involved in, and so how the community can really start to contribute even more to each other, and focusing on the community development of that, and then facilitate things. So I think that there's a lot of value in that. So I'm sorry, I really have to go, but my suggestion, Ross, is maybe like, let's schedule a call with Carolina and we make things happen. Cool.
Cool.
Big love.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.